out swinging, and Foskin just keeping some distance between them. But Gary keeping that jab working. And in Foskin's earlier fight, when he beat Carl Grant, his jab was very, very Foskin just regaining his footing and holding on to his man. Again, Gary Grant leading with the left, Foskin getting under it, and no damage done there. So Gary Grant in the gold trunks, and Foskin, boom boom, in the black with the white trim. And a good lead there from Gary Grant. And another good lead left, catches Foskin on the side of the head, and he repeats it once again. So far, a very good round for Gary Grant, Robert.
Yeah, Gary Grant's being more aggressive. But Foskin's slippery. He's not that easy to hit. He has a slippery boxing style.
Yes, but Gary Grant looking to hold the upper hand in this opening exchange, and Foskin perhaps just a little unsettled by the delay in the start of this fight because of the bingo, and Grant is seemingly getting on top of him. A good left there from Grant to the face of Foskin, and Grant coming in again behind the left jab, landing the right to the rear of the head of Boom Boom. A short uppercut from Grant, and Grant really doing some good work in this fight. In this round, Grant has really looked very, very impressive. And there goes the bell, and they had a furious exchange at the sound of the bell. But I would think a very, very good round for Gary Grant. Fit, very confident, or he's just taking a leaf out of the book of George Foreman. Well, there goes the whistle. Seconds out, and Gary Grant advances towards Earl Foskin, and that's the bell. And Foskin throws the first jab, they exchange jabs, and then Foskin turns Grant around, and the referee separates them. Foskin now using his jab now to better advantage. He had not been doing that in round one. Now he's backed up in the neutral corner by Grant, but he defends himself quite well. Grant coming out with very, very serious intentions here. Lands a good right that knocks Foskin off his feet really, and Grant comes in for the kill, but Foskin is defending well, tying his man up. And another good right from Grant, and Grant is really all action here now. Grant goes to the body. Foskin ties him up. Foskin wants a break here, but Grant is all over him, and Foskin could be hurt. A good combination there from Gary Grant, and Foskin is backed up against the rope, but he looks strong enough as he comes off the ropes, and the two men clinch in the middle of the ring. But Grant is determined, and Grant comes in again. A short, digging in a short left to the body is Gary Grant. A little slipping going on there. Foskin coming in, but as he comes in, he runs into a right to the body from Grant. He lands right of his own to the side of the face of Grant, but Grant responds, and now the action really stepping up now. This is wonderful action. This is what the sweet science is all about. This is boxing at its best. This is fast, furious action. Gary Grant and Earl Boom Boom Foskin. Foskin in the black, Grant in the gold, and they exchange punches as Grant now gives himself some room. He takes a left to the side of the face, but lands right of his own. Then Foskin just picking off an attempted right hook from Gary Grant. But this is good action. Grant getting back again on top of Foskin, and Grant really looking as though he wants to have an early night here, and he lands a good chopping right hand to the face of Foskin, and Boom Boom really needs to put some boom in his boom.
I noticed that Grant carries his weight more in his upper body than Foskin, and I guess I would attribute that to why he's throwing the harder punches, I think.
I think they're trying to work out some strategy to get Grant off him, because Grant has really been all over him. Well, the whistler's gone, seconds out, and now the bell has sounded, and they start.
Foskin hasn't gotten the respect of Grant, and that's why Grant's coming in like that. And again, Grant definitely seems to be the heavier puncher.
Oh, this is action and action galore. Oh, good left hand there from Grant, but he gets one of it from Foskin, and they embrace in the middle of the ring. And this is glorious action. This is really, really good stuff here. Grant now trying to get Foskin off him so he can, and he commits the cardinal error of dropping his guard on the clinch, on the break, and he suffers the consequences as he picked up two good shots there from Foskin. And had he not really been in fine condition, those two punches could have been decisive.
That's true, and I'll tell you something else. Foskin tends to step in too much with his jab, and then he can't follow it up with the right hand. He just kind of smothers his own right hand, as he did, he did there.
Well, Grant is really looking very, very positive tonight. And, oh, that was a good left hand. Again hurt, and Foskin could be hurt here. And if Grant can maintain this sort of attack, he's going to have Foskin down on the canvas. But Foskin eats a straight left from Gary Grant, who now just leans against him. And Foskin comes in, and again he comes into a lead right. And right now it's all Gary Grant. Foskin throws a right hook, follows it up with a left hand now. And that exchange, Robert, not too sure exactly how you would view that.
Foskin was a little bit off balance. He got hit hard, but it was being off balance while he went down, and the referee saw it and didn't count it as an 8 count. But Grant's definitely found a home for that left hook.
And he certainly has found a home for it, and he's certainly going home very often, because he has been landing it and landing it with great regularity. And Foskin now needs to keep, he needs to keep that right hand up, because he's being hit, and he's being hit hard. And just simply tying up his man isn't really going to get the job done for him. So there is the ring, there is the bell, and I think that's the end of round number 3. Let's make sure that we have the rounds correct this time, okay? Yeah. I think that's the end of round number 3. But when the action is so fast and furious, you tend to lose count of what round it is. But I do believe that was round number 3.
I noticed Grant accepted that stool this round also. He's Grant's no longer standing in the corner. He is on his
Yeah.
stool. A good boxer knows that if you throw something and it works, keep throwing it, and that left hook is working for Grant.
It's working for him, and they need to do something in Foskin's corner. You see, you notice he's keeping the right hand a little higher this time.
Foskin needs to keep that hand up.
Again.
Needs to keep the hand up.
But Grant apparently hurting him with that left, but not following up at all. He just simply let him off the hook. And at this point, a good right hand there from Grant. Foskin trying everything, but Grant really is all over him. And
I don't see Foskin really landing punches with any power, and it doesn't. And Grant's not afraid to come in and mix it up because he's not intimidated by Foskin's punching power.
oh yes, he's walking right through it. And that right hand a while ago, and now he follows up with a lead left, and Foskin is hurt. Foskin is hurt.
He is hurt. I saw him stagger over there in the corner.
And now Foskin has to pull something out of the bag. He tries to come in, but again, he runs into a left from Grant. Grant in the gold trunks, and Grant definitely on top here. Grant landing, and when Foskin tries to back him up against the ropes, he's turned around nicely by Grant, who lands a good left. And now it's Grant again. It's Grant really all over Foskin. Foskin now really holding on, and he's holding on to Grant. He misses with a lead left and eats a straight left from Grant, and Grant with another straight right this time. And right now it seems to be all Gary Grant. Foskin really in a lot of trouble here. His mouth is open, and he tries short uppercut on the inside. He takes a straight left from Gary Grant, but Grant looks much the stronger and certainly much the busier, and he lands a good right to the side of the head of Foskin, and Foskin needs to do something now. He desperately needs to do something because nothing is really working for him at this time.
Foskin tried to come back there a little bit, but he just walked into another hard left hand. And I think Grant just looks too strong for him at this point.
And Grant is really all over Foskin. And at the end of the round, Foskin, I don't know, seeming to show some dissent. I don't know what what the dissent is all about, because the bell rang and he was signaled back to his corner. It looked as though he didn't want to go back to his corner. He wanted to continue fighting. Foskin will have to really show a lot of resilience to last out these 2 rounds.
Foskin's mouth is wide open. He's breathing through his mouth, and that's definitely a sign of being tired. Again, he's walking into heavy punches.
He just walked into a straight left followed by a right from Gary Grant. And Foskin is certainly not enjoying tonight's proceeding. A good right, a vicious, crunching right to the body by Gary Grant. And Gary Grant seems to be doing everything right tonight. And it's almost as though he is toying with Foskin. It's as though Boom Boom really has no boom in his boom. Gary Grant is all over him, and a good right from Grant. Grant takes a left, but
he's using that jab to set up that right, and that's classic boxing. Jab setting up the right hand.
And we have certainly seen some exciting boxing in these first 5 rounds. This is really wonderful stuff. This this is one of the fights that the spectators will go away and they will remember for a long, long time, regardless of how it ends. And somehow I suspect it will have a dramatic end. It has been so dynamic, so explosive. A good lead left again by Grant, and then he lands right to the body of Foskin. Foskin now leaning against him, against the rope, and Foskin, the mouth wide open, he takes a good straight left, another from Gary Grant, and Gary Grant's corner really very, very vociferous. A good right there, and a slip, but he slipped really because his knees were weak. And now a right there from Gary Grant, and now Foskin is really holding on, Robert.
That's true, and I'll tell you, Grant's very confident. Foskin looks tired. He's fighting back, but he doesn't have the power in his punches. When the jabs land, you watch Foskin's punches aren't doing any damage, and Grant's are.
And Foskin lands with a lead left, but not doing any damage at all. But those 2 left hands from Grant certainly did do some damage. And Foskin is really having a torrid night tonight. He is going to be a very, very sore man when he wakes up tomorrow morning. A short right to the side of the head of Foskin, and Grant just trying to find his footing, and there goes the bell. And Grant is perhaps saying to Foskin as they part in the corner, I'm going to get you in the last round.
You know, I also noticed that when Grant throws a punch and misses with the one hand, he comes back with the other. And when he misses with that first punch, he usually lands that second.
Foskin now must recognize that for this, the final round, he has to do something very special here. The boxers touch gloves, and immediately Grant flicks out that left jab, holding the right hand high, and a good straight left from Grant. Foskin comes in, and they mix it up in the neutral corner. And Foskin now perhaps deciding to go all for broke here, but Grant is ready and equal to the task. Foskin landing a punch to the head of Grant and one to the body, but really coming off the arms of Grant. And again he tries a lead right, but he takes a straight right from Gary Grant, and Foskin, you can see the swelling under the left eye of Earl Foskin. He has really eaten quite a few left jabs from Gary Grant. And there's another. And Grant, and that was a good left cross as they trade punches close to the corner of Gary Grant. Referee Wilson Sutherland comes in and separates them. Foskin on the receiving end. That's a bit of showboating going on by Gary Grant. Never ever a safe thing, because no matter how far ahead you are, it only takes one punch to turn everything around. But Gary Grant is confident and he's doing well. And he slipped a short while ago, but Foskin could not capitalize on it in any way.
Yeah, it looks like the ring floor is starting to get a little slippery for a reason I don't know. But one thing I notice is that Foskin tends to throw that jab and doesn't follow up with the right hand because he smothers the power of that right hand. Grant, on the other hand, uses the jab to set up the right hands, and it works for him.
And it's still Grant on top of Foskin here in this final round. The referee comes in, separates the boxers. Foskin still having bounce in those legs. Grant definitely the stronger of the two. Again, that lead left is connecting. The heads very, very close together, but no headbutting there. And I think Foskin has done well to have remained on his feet this far. He throws a right hand which could have had damaging results, but didn't land, and Grant raises his arms in victory. So does Foskin, but I think certainly not with the conviction of Gary Grant, who is actually being congratulated by the corner of Earl Foskin. And Grant, I think, definitely has this one in the bag.
Well, you know, you can't take anything away from either boxer or any of these boxers that competed tonight, but I think tonight was Grant's night.
It certainly was a very, very good tactical fight, and he came here in good condition. He fought a very, very good tactical fight.
Judge Keith Brown scored about 60-57. 6. Richard Clark scored about 59-55. To make the score 1-all, the winner, Gary Grant.
Mountains scream.